Welcome back. Good day, good morning, but actually, no, sorry, hold up. Let me get my time zone right. Good morning, yeah, good morning. Pelicans Daily presented by Fan Arts. I'm your host Dylan Bruton. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. You already know what it is. You already know the drill when you're chilling with Dill. I appreciate y'all and the support. It has been one busy weekend. I've had homework, man. It's just work after work. The work does not stop. But I can't be kept away too long from talking about those Pelicans with y'all. So I hope everything is going well. But yeah, a whole lot of writing, typing, XYZ. Got a photography class today, man. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to expand the skill set. Well, speaking of players who have been expanding their skill set, but also provide value right now, a guy that we should look into potentially getting, Ochai Agbaji. Now, the young man from Toronto would be the perfect replacement if, keyword on if we decide to get rid of either a guy like Eve Missy, even though like it's rare you see a guard get traded for a big, but it happens. Or if we got rid of Jordan Hawkins, which y'all know I would be hurt about. I mean, Jordan Hawkins is my guy. I've been a Jordan Hawkins believer for some time, but I'm not in control of that. Um, but Ochai Agbaji, the man is 6'5", 215, which is a very unique size profile. Like it's almost he's only like an inch off of what Michael Jordan was in his playing career. But he's a guy who's able to play the 1 through 4 in sense of guarding them. Right? He's a guard, but he can guard the 1 through 4. He's a very strong player. He's able to play great defense. Has a very high motor and energy, similar to Herb, similar to Jose. He's not really like a. Again, I like to use the phrase "roll the ball out." 3 to 5 dribbles or less and do something crazy. That's not really his game, but he is a great shooter. He shot 40% from the corner last year. He's also a very talented athlete. You know what I'm saying? He gets up, able to finish a good lob. And given that we ranked in the bottom 5 in 3-point attempts and makes, we got to think about, bringing in guys. I know my guy, who was it? Was it David? Was it someone else that was, kind of like, nah, Sadiq ain't it. And I can't agree with it. But, you know, teach his own. But I do like it was David, yeah. But as a guy who has seen Sadiq play, live, he offers a similar skill set. But it doesn't hurt to add more guys. In today's NBA, you need more guys that can shoot. You need more guys that are able to space the floor. And the versatility goes a long way. He averaged 10 a game, 4 boards and assists. But he's got a lot of guys that he's playing behind. He's playing behind Grady. He's playing behind R.J. Barrett. He's playing behind our guy Bi. Even you could throw in a guy there like Jacoby Walker. Even though I know he leans more towards being a 3, but still, there's a lot of wing depth in Toronto. So, uh, and now, Chris brought this up, and I'm going to talk to Chris directly. But he said if New Orleans offered up Eve Missy in a one-on-one swap, Toronto would jump at it. And the sad part is he's not wrong, because I like Jakob Poeltl, but there's no guarantee that he's going to be their long-term guy. It's taken him a while, because I remember when he was going through his pre-draft process at Utah. It's taken him some time to get to where he's at now. Where Eve was at in his rookie year, it took Jakob a while to get to in terms of being that type of serviceable player. So, yeah, it would be a little bit of a different, it'd be a different thing for them. They would be like, please. In terms of us, I don't want to give up Eve. I wouldn't want to do it, but if it came down to it, yes, I would trade Jordan. But it would hurt because I still believe in Jordan. I still think his ceiling is high. But if we do go for a player like Ochai, let it rhyme. Let it be for a player like, you know what I'm saying? Let it be for a player of similar value. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But in Joe Dumars, we trust. I have told y'all from the jump that you got to let this brother do the cooking. You got to let him get in the kitchen, get crazy, get busy with it. And in a podcast that he just did he was at the Saints game when we played against Denver on Saturday. He gave some comments that, is all the proof that we need that he's been the guy all along. You know what I'm saying? It's like in The Matrix when they realized he is the one when they were talking about Neo. And President Dumars, kind of gangster with it. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, talk, OG. But he said, I said to guys, I'm gonna read. I said to guys, look, if you don't want to be here, then man, come by the office, man. Let me find a home for you. Because there's no sense in me having you here if you don't want to be here. Like, if you don't want to be somewhere you can't be your best, you can't. Every guy that is here has sat down with me and said, I absolutely want to be here. Microphone drop. Talk to them. Yes, that is exactly the mantra. You don't want to be here? Pack your bags. Don't let the door hit you on your way out. Like, it couldn't be any simpler. It couldn't. But unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? It's like Lauryn Hill said, it could all be so simple, but you'd rather make it hard. Like, that's the type of intensity, that's the type of mindset you want your president to have. Because that just sounds exactly like someone who is locked into the vision, locked in knowing what it is and what's at stake. And that's what you got to do. And look, I know that was a weird voice crack. I know that in an ideal world, right, we would have been able to make something after we made that Anthony Davis trade with that core. But Chris brought up a really good point. There wasn't a culture in place with David Griffin. All respect to him. He knows ball, but he doesn't know how to build a culture. He never got his hands dirty like that. Again, I've said plenty of times, can he make a left-handed layup? I don't know. And if he's left-handed, can he make a right-handed layup? We got to ask those questions. But think about where President Dumars comes from, right? Bad Boys Pistons. Then working front office, winning a ring for the same team he won multiple rings for. That plays a huge role into his mentality. He was coached by the legendary Chuck Daly. The GM at the time, Jack McCloskey. They built a contender throughout the 80s and brief in the early 90s. It was, their time in the sun was a little shorter. But throughout the 80s, they were one of the best. They weren't just one of the best teams in the East. They were one of the best teams in the entire NBA. So there's already a different type of wiring. There's already a different type of framework here that we're working with. And this is going to be a different team. I don't think this is going to be like a really nice team. We're setting up to be a team that we could be some goons out there. We ain't gonna be dirty, but again, we tired of being kicked around. We tired of having teams come in and thinking that they can plant their feet, kick back and relax. No, not in NO, not in the Big Easy. What are we doing? Like, we gotta get back to the days of some aggression and some like a Dungeon Dragon, Word the Buster. But like, seriously, we cannot be playing around here. These teams thinking it's sweet. We got to remind them, you don't just come up to into our house. Just like you don't go into another man's house if you ain't coming in with some respect, or you're coming in ready to go duke it out. But perfect way to segue, because when you want to duke it out, you got to go see our guys on. Because you know why? New Orleans is home for me. This is his words, not mine. So in this same podcast that President Dumars did, he gave us further confirmation that Zion is our guy. And That's something that, again, if there's any bit of relief or any type of euphoric clarity that we can have, and I know again y'all gonna say, oh, it's a whole lot of Chris Lambert, but Chris brought up a great point. At no point has Zion asked for a trade. At no point. Now, we all know that when Zion got drafted, the hype was unreal. I remember everybody was thinking like he's gonna go here, he's gonna go here, he's gonna go there. There was a lot of talk about New York. I mean, I'm repping, you know what I'm saying? But but he never did went to never went to New York. A lot of things might have changed in the NBA. I thought the NBA was gonna, move some things around. Similar to how they did in '85 when Patrick Ewing was the #1 draft prospect. But he never didn't go to New York. His teammate R.J. Barrett did. And I remember Fab rapping about him in Cold Summer, you know what I'm saying he was going to get in some Timbs and giving him some advice on how to navigate the New York media market. Classic. Shout out to that's one of Fab's best songs. It's going to be a cold summer. But a great point to be made. In this era where superstars are leaving teams like it's nothing, where star players are like, I'm out of here. I'm gone. Deuces. I'll pack my bags for myself. I don't even need you to show me the door. I'm already walking there as it is. Zion at no point has wanted to bail. And I understand it. I kind of understand if he would, given all the trade rumors, given the dysfunction, given his own things he's went through personally. I would understand if he was like, you know what, for my own mental sake, for my own clarity, I'm trying to get up out of here. But at no point has he done that. No point. So I think that has to be appreciated more. I understand. Look, he's got to play more than 60 games. He's got to expand his game. He's got to keep the personal endeavors less. That's all. I'm going with that. But at no point has he been like, I want out. Get me out of here. Get me to New York, LA, Chicago, Miami. Get me somewhere warmer. I don't know. At no point. He's a southern brother that wants to stay down south below the Mason-Dixon, playing for us. Not a lot of stars today have that type of appreciation. Not a lot of stars today have that type of mindset. I could very well see Zion retire, being drafted and retiring with us. He comes from that pedigree as a player. I mean, remember, this guy was like the only or like the most excited to talk NBA history when they were doing like the rookie photo shooting camp. He's over here naming guys from the 70s and 80s his parents had him watching. He loves the game. I keep trying to tell y'all, do not be fooled by whatever media narratives that are out there. This man loves the game. He's also a young man who had the world. He was given the car keys to the car before he was ready to get behind the wheel. It happens. But that's why I still believe in him. He's young. He's still young enough to figure it out. But I got faith. And again, like I said, 25-7-5 does not grow on trees, man. In under 30 minutes, mind you, yeah. Dark horse MVP. The fact that he's like, I want to be here and I don't want to, this is home for me, got to rally behind that. Got to support that. Got to. But let's get to my favorite part, responding to y'all, because I really do appreciate the love and support. We're keeping it rocking and rolling. Let's start off with my guy, Christopher Church, 2653. Nice comp with Tayshaun and Herb. NBA Live. It definitely was bigger than 2K back then. Hey, look, if Herb reaches the potential or reaches that of what Tayshaun is, but better, we're winning a ring at some point. I hate to speak crazy and overly audacious, but Tayshaun Prince was a very valuable part of some competitive teams. And I believe Herb has that same type of impact. And yeah, no, NBA Live definitely was bigger. Anybody telling you otherwise was not outside. NBA Live 08 that was like NBA Live 08 and 09. This was like its last stance. Even Live 10. And then after that, 2K just said, we got it. We got it from here. Um, my guy Johnny Extreme 3019. I love the idea of adding Vukovic. He would be a big addition. Our center position would look so much more complete. I probably should have small tier forget Vukovic and Beasley on this team. Ooh, Malik Beasley would be nice. I don't know what his situation is. If we can't get him, for cheap, we just gotta be like, hey, no more FanDuel prize picks, none of that. No gambling allowed. You can ball, all that, no gambling. Maybe do a prop bet with your friends, but nothing more. I'm not sure of our cap issue, but I believe we still have the trade exception. Adding these guys will make our bench one of the best in the league. If you want to seriously make a playoff push, sign these two players while they're available and affordable. I'm with you on the signing Vukovic. I do think he would add great value as a floor spacer, as another scorer down low in the low post, and Malik Beasley as well. And having extra veterans that know what they're doing, it goes a long way. So I'm with you on that. I don't know off the top of my head if we still have the trade exception. We might. Got to look into it. We might have to move some things around, but I wouldn't be opposed to that either. Again, two great bench additions. Both were in the playoffs last year. Malik Beasley with the Pistons and Vukovic with the Bulls. Yes, the Bulls were only in the play-in. Pistons looked nice last year to me. They're a team that is they're getting there. Shout out to the guys who were formerly with the Pistons and President Dumars and Mr. Troy Weaver. Christopher Church again. 2653 said Jose averaged 13, 6.5 assists, 2 steals on 60% in 26 minutes. Granted, he one of the main guys, but that's still what you want from Brogdon. So I'm keeping the Jose hype up. I'm not mad at that. I do love Jose, and again, Jose is another guy who I want to see retire a Pelican. I want to see all these guys retire Pelicans, but there's guys who embody the hustle and energy of the city and that passion. So I'm with that. And then last comment, Irv Chili Chill 1. This is all love right here. My man, I appreciate you grinding, giving Pels fans content to digest, and your takes come with a sincere belief in the team and positivity. Can't say that about other channels that cover the Pels regularly. I see your growth in becoming comfortable with articulating your thoughts and information in a clear and concise manner. Keep it up. Salute to you in your grad school endeavors and what you're calling will be in the near future. That's what I do it for, man. Seriously, Herb, that is one of the best comments. I've gotten some amazing comments in this time, but that's one of the best comments that I've ever gotten. Much love, truly and sincerely, and that's what I do it for, man. I understand that right now a lot of the rhetoric is just very negative. And I'm not sitting here ever, again, telling y'all to be delusional, but I'm saying that there is a lot to look forward to when you have a team that has been active in free agency, has been active in the draft, and is already building onto a core that, when healthy, has shown that they can be a viable potential playoff impactor, not just a contender, because there's a difference between just being a contender and impactor. When you're an impactor, teams are game planning for you. We've been competitive and contended at different moments where it's like we're in the fight. You know what I'm saying? We got our fists up. But now it's time for teams to be like, wait a minute, I got to be mindful in how I approach going to the city of New Orleans and playing these Pelicans and running against a team like this that is very balanced from player 1 to player 15. So that's just as much as possible what I try to highlight and try to make sure is not forgotten, because that gets overlooked, unfortunately. And thank you. I'm working on it. I'm a very verbose person. Anybody who's ever been on a podcast will tell you, don't give me too much time. I'm gonna it really, when I'm passionate, that's all. I'm just passionate. I love to let that exude. I love to let that show. And that's what I love about this, is that it's just me. But I have been, getting better as the years go. Better as a listener, as an interviewer, as a journalist. Just trying to get as sharp as possible in so many skill sets. Trying to get better at my craft. Just like these guys every day and every offseason and whatnot, trying to get better. That's my goal always. But thank you so much for the support. I got class soon, so I got to get ready. Anaviche sees the day. But, or no, is it Carpe Diem? Yeah. Carpe Diem sees the day? Yeah, I got a whole lot of homework I've been doing already, but, hey, that's what I wanted. That's the grind. And iron sharpens iron. That's the only way you get better. But much love, y'all, truly and sincerely. I appreciate y'all for being with me on this journey. We're going to keep rocking and rolling and keep going. It ain't no stop. But can't wait to the next video. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend, tell a friend. We're getting closer and closer to that point where we can start really looking at preseason and looking at the schedule and, framing things out before season, because NFL season is coming up. And, as soon as NFL kicks in, NBA's not too far after. But anyway, y'all, much love. Continue to show some love. Shout out to Fan Arch as well. Show them love as well. But rocking and rolling. I'm going to get up out of here. Y'all stay blessed and amazing. Ciao.